Hello again, YouTubers. I believe it was last weekend, Sunday of last weekend, Friday night or Sunday. I think it was actually Friday night that it happened. I was running my X-MAXX. I had the spiral cut gears, which I've already made a video about it, and I jumped a curb off of my street onto my lawn. I landed without any power being applied to the wheels, although I do have the I did have the XLX 2028 system in it, geared extremely high, actually overdriven gearing with a 5350 setup. And it was the second time that as soon as I landed, I heard a pop and the front differential pinion broke. So I was just like, you know what? In the past week, I had a I believe it was either a 2070 or 2075 servo go out. It was the Traxxas digital servo. I had a Traxxas 3.3 engine blow up. The X-MAXX couldn't keep its differentials together. Running the stock differentials, it was fine. So I posted that, okay, I'm going to either sell it or trade it. And I said straight out, I will trade for a DBXL 5T. I have a 5B. I'm not even gonna worry about it. It's a very nice one. It's got some upgraded parts on it. Yeah, it's over there. But a very friendly guy. I'm not gonna mention his name. That's his privacy. He said that he was wanting to get back into the X-MAXX game. He had one before, and that he would trade his DBXL for it. Well, there's a lot of parts that came with this DBXL. I mean, a lot. A lot of people had problems with, I know for a fact that the 23cc engine is not strong enough. It's a good start, I will say that. You're definitely going to have to either get a very good pipe and maybe say a Walbro 990 carb, so it can breathe better, or just go with a OBR 30.5cc. You're looking less than $300, and I believe 7.5 horsepower. These stock are 2.5 or 3 horsepower, so you're not going to get a lot. Of course, the Baja has a 29cc in it, and it's also 2-wheel drive, so it's going to outrun it. This one has more moving parts that it has to move. Right now, I just have the stock servos in it. The throttle and braking servo, I'm gonna leave stock. And really, I don't see a reason to change there because the braking is fine. I mean, eventually, maybe, most likely, I will change. But as of right now, no, I'm gonna change to a servos 5th scale servo for steering. I don't deal with high tech, and this servo is the reason. I had this mounted in my T-Max as the throttle brake servo. It kept browning out, and eventually it just took a shit. It won't work anymore. It's fried. So that's why I stay away from high tech and I go with servos. Servos, however the hell it's pronounced, I don't know. Some people pronounce LOSI. So fuck it. Parts this one came with is holy shit. Extra shock towers, Dollar Hobbies. The braces, the regular hexes installed are DGI extended hubs. I have the stock hubs, extras, plus the ones that came off of it. Stock springs, 3 extra pinion gears, the differential carrier. Basically, if you look inside mine, you have a red part and a silver part. The silver part is the differential case, and then the red part encloses it, and then that's the mount for the differential itself. So then I've got this part. Some of these parts I will be selling. These I will not be selling. I will be putting these back together and installing them. These are LOSI 5T shocks. So these are going to be getting installed. eventually. I don't know when, but when I get around to it, I'm going to have to get some diff fluid. Because as everybody knows, these bigger vehicles, I mean, I will say I do have the, where are y'all at? Not sure where they're at right off the top of my head, but I have the pistons that allow you to use the, just regular diff oil. But I was cautioned by a lot of people that, they're 3D printed, so they're known to break. And here, I've got, what is that? Oh yeah, this is the stock steering cover. That's aluminum now. A lot of parts are now aluminum. I've got all the aluminum steering parts. I mean, everything I have is, I'm ready to go all aluminum. I just have to get the right servos and parts like that. Here is the Kershaw. Got extra hinge pins, front and rear. So that's nice, because yeah, it's always nice to have extra pins just in case you bend one. I mean, hell, they're thick as fuck. And see, there's the stock hexes. The Kershaw kit. Extra A-arms. Extra turnbuckles. This is the rear diff housing. You have the diff housing and the diff case, I believe. I do like his taste, how he decided to go with red and silver. So it goes with the red and white of this vehicle. I'm looking to get a wing for it, a Bartolone pipe. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I'm not exactly sure. I'm still new to this. I'm still new to gas pretty much. I mean, I know how to tune 2cc engines. I've known how to work on small engines since high school. But that's all that stuff. If I can find the... I'm pretty sure they're in my bedroom. I'm not going to get up. But I also got an entire screw kit. Bearings. Entire screw kit. Just in case I need screws for basically anything 5th scale. I mean, you can just see it's got set screws, regular screws, all machine screws. So pretty much I won't have to be running to... oh yeah, it just reminds me, one of the motor mount screws, this screw right here came out of the 5B, so I'm going to have to leave that out and install that. Okay, let's get to this right here. It had the stock springs on it. I replaced them with the, it also came with Dave's discount motor. DDM is what is the acronym for it. Everybody calls it DDM. Came with their HD springs. A lot of people had problems with if you would push it down, it would not come back up. But this one comes all the way back up. Drive shafts, front and rear, all around, are upgraded. Because you can actually see, if you look closely, you can actually see there is a boot over this drive shaft. I'll actually move it back, scoot it back so you can actually see that is not the stock drive shaft. That is an upgraded drive shaft. So that more strength there. A lot of people said, well, you can't go with a more powerful engine than about 32cc unless you upgrade the drivetrain. Well, my drivetrain's already upgraded. If you look up in the rear, you can see the red and the silver aluminum parts. That's the diff housing and the diff case. And same thing in the front. I'm not going to take the whole cage off. You can see right here, I don't know how well it's going to show up, but you can see right here, it's got the metal drive linkage, so it's not plastic. It's got that all of this stuff is FID racing. I am gonna get the bigger gas tank for it. Definitely gonna get a pipe. That's just, I mean, you have to get a pipe with these. My Baja is such an obnoxious sounding vehicle. Because it's just loud as hell when it's taking off, and it's taking off away from you, because it's probably pushing about 80 decibels, if not higher. Thankfully, all my neighbors, I know them. They're cool with me as long as I don't drive these in their yard. The stock wheels and tires, they're pretty much junk. The wheels I like. They're okay. I like the look of them. But the stock tires are junk. You're definitely going to want to replace those immediately. I have King Motor Pioneers that I installed on mine. They are a lot stiffer. A lot more, well, these have no sidewall tread. This has sidewall tread. You can actually see the foam in these. You can see that, I mean, this whole thing is just squishy. But I'll be keeping these just for if I'm going on asphalt or some shit like that. I don't know. I've got my King Motor wheels right here. The wheels themselves and all the bead lock rings. Cool thing about the King Motor wheels, they are brittle, but the hex where it installs onto the hub is reinforced with metal. So that's really cool. That actually took a little while, because that's, hell, that was 160 screws to change out 4 tires. But I love bead lock compared to glue, because, I mean, although it is screws, hell, get a drill. Does it real quick, and just make sure when you're tightening it, you have the clutch set on 1 or 2, usually 1 first, and then if it can take 2, go on to 2. It all depends on the drill that you have. This one is just an inexpensive Black & Decker 20-volt LiPo. It works. I have better ones that I use for work. What else is there to be said? Shit. Let me think here for a second. Oh yeah, I also have the I still gotta get the center diff housing from FID, but I already have the rear center drive shaft mount installed. It's up under the muffler, so it's hard to see, but it's a little red piece behind the behind the throttle and brake servo, and up under the muffler. The stock one is, if I get a stock one real quick, I can show you, and you'll know what it looks like. I know it's in here somewhere. This is a lot of extra crap that I have. This is just my bulk shit. Let's look around real quick. Nothing there, nothing there. Nah, fucking, I ain't gonna keep looking for it. But basically, it's just a little tower about that tall that holds 2 bearings, and it holds the shaft in place. It's only a shaft about that long that elongates it, so the drive shaft, well, the entire drive line can extend and go to the rear. Anybody who knows the 5T, it actually has a sort of a offset where the pinion goes into the rear. It's sort of offset to one side. So it's just a straight shot, but for the front it's at an angle. With this, it's at an angle for both, because you got the motor on one side, you got everything else on the other. It is nose heavy when you jump. I'm trying to see if I can dial that out a little with my suspension, but as other people have said, when it came to the designing of it, it's like they got to right here and just said, okay, it's fine, let's just leave it. I mean, they could have come up with something to cover up this right here, to cover the bottom so shit wouldn't get up in here. Overall, I think it's an amazing design, especially seeing that if you're looking to choose between an X-MAXX or a DBXL, I would say hands down DBXL. You're going to get the same speed. You're not going to get the same all-out power because you're always going to get more power with brushless because the amount of power that is moving at a single time. But if you keep it for a while and you do upgrades to the DBXL, it will be as good as X-MAXX, but better because, I mean, it's just, this is overall a better vehicle from what I've already noticed about it. The things that I've done that have broke my X-MAXX, I've already put this through the same things. It's still running like a damn champ. The one thing I will say that's a little bit of a pain in the ass is getting the cage on and off. The aluminum housings back and front sort of move the cage mounts. These it moves, I believe, backwards a little, and these it also moves this way, but these are the same. So the cage is a little bit of a pain in the ass to get on and off, but you really don't have to worry about it much. You just got to get to your gas, which, I mean, you can fit your hand through this cage perfect. Just make sure you have all your endpoints for your braking set up correctly so your brakes will work correctly before you put the cage on. Just make sure you get everything done that you want to get done with the cage off before you go and put the cage on, because once you put the cage on, it's going to be a pain in the ass to get it on because 12 body clips to hold this on. Traxxas did come up with a very good idea with the very quick body mount, but at the same time, I can't tell you how many times that body fell off because either a wheelie or a jump or something, the body would just fly off. I can pick this entire vehicle up by right here. I can't right now because I'm sitting and I can't just lift 30 pounds just like that. But I mean, if anybody was to ask me, what would you, if it was me, no. If it was a seasoned person in RC, what would you suggest? A X-MAXX or a DBXL? I would say hands down DBXL, because with the X-MAXX you're going to spend about $800, then you're going to spend about another $200 to $300 for, no, probably about $300 to $400 for a couple sets of batteries and a good charger. That's the one thing I really did not like about the X-MAXX or any electric vehicle, is you're held down by batteries. Yes, this uses a battery, but I can't remember who makes it right now, but there is a 2-cell LiPo that you can get for this that is 7,500 milliamp hours. So you'll hardly ever have to worry about the battery for it. All you gotta do is fill it up with, I use 93 octane. I'm not gonna use anything less than 93 octane to keep the motor as clean as possible, because basically the lesser octane number has nothing to do with power. It's how much compression it can take without detonating. It's also how clean it is. The higher the octane number, the cleaner it is. But once you start getting into racing octane, like 110, 115, yes, you're going to get a little boost in power because it is a little more explosive because it's more pure. Things I still have to do, like I said, center diff mount is going to get metal. I'm going to take off the brakes at the center diff, and I'm going to get the disc brakes that go all around to all 4 tires because it will work better instead of just locking up the drive shafts themselves, because that's a bad thing. If your differential goes out, guess what? You're not going to have brakes. But I do like the fact that you do have front and rear brakes with this. With the 5B, all you have is rear brakes unless you opt out for the braking kit for it. I think that's really it when it comes to this. I absolutely love it. I'm glad I went through with the trade. I hope the person, no, I know the person that gets the X-MAXX will love it because it has a hell of a lot of upgrades. I sent them the last part for the T-bone setup, which was the center skid plate. And that's basically all that was it. He also had the Kershaw mount, which I never had a problem with. He got my XLX 2028 castle set up. That's how I was able to get these aluminum parts. Because all of this aluminum alone, you're looking at about $300, $350. But I also had the EXO cage, the Dave's discount, the EXO cage, the Dusty Motors, the Hot Racing progressive springs, spiral gear for the rear. A lot of parts. Anybody who watched my videos, that's everything I have with mine. So we did an even trade, except he gave me an extra $50 for the XLX 2028 setup because that sort of evened it out, because these parts are used. I was going to let the XLX go for $350, but I decided I'll let it go for $300. He's giving me a hell of a deal with this, so we'll just let that go. If you were able to see dead on at this DBXL, you would be able to see that it is about 2 inches wider front and back due to the DGI hub extended hubs. Still got some set screws that I have to install for the roll bars, but other than that, when I first got it, it sort of squatted a little, and now that I've installed the HD springs, it does not squat at all. I love it. I mean, there's nothing bad I can say about this vehicle except it is underpowered. So if you're looking at a DBXL, you're definitely gonna have to consider getting a pipe. Not definitely. I mean, if you like the power out of the box, I mean, stick with it. But you're really not going to be able to do much hill climbing. But also, you can look at getting a clutch, and that'll also bring it alive even better. The Turtle Racing Snapper Clutch. That's going to grab the clutch bell. You're also going to need to get the clutch bell carrier. It's plastic on this, and you're going to need to get a metal one. I know I'm very long-winded with this, but there's a lot of things that came with this, and a lot of things that has to be done with the DBXL to get it to the point where you don't have to worry about anything. You can run all day and not have a single problem. I don't like the fact that this light bar is just for show, but I do have some lights that I will be able to install on it. They're way over there. It was the lighting kit that I have for my X-MAXX. I'm just going to put those, it came with 4 12 LED circuit boards, so I'm going to put those up here, and then put the brake light in the back. I haven't decided if I'm going to go with an extra tire or a wing. Probably a wing, because I don't want the weight of an extra tire. I'll always carry an extra tire with me anyways. But that's it. Like usual, any questions, comments, whatever, leave them below. This is my trade. I love it. So, till next time, peace.